G'day folks, Andy here from McDowall Manor. I wanted to do a video on what are the plans for this coming year. Now you probably already gathered, most of the infrastructure has been done here. Over the last couple of years I've managed to get stuff in. I'm pretty happy with how things are going. But one of my ongoing wishes has been that I eat a lot more food straight from our garden. Now, on the surface that might seem like a relatively straightforward thing, but I've been thinking about it a lot more seriously this year, and it's going to mean some changes. So you will have seen we eat a lot of stuff, you know, the cherry tomatoes, we use a hell of a lot of them for different sauces. A lot of fruit, all the citrus, we love our citrus. But what we don't eat is a lot of the greens. So I've already decided this Malabar spinach, despite the fact it produces huge edible leaves, he's going to have to go. And a whole lot of stuff like him is going to have to go. Rosie doesn't even really like the kangkong, although I like it. The chickens like it. I imagine the quail would like it. I haven't actually tried feeding it to them yet. It's a good base for my pestos because it's a fairly innocuous kind of green. Like, it doesn't have a funny taste or a funny texture. So I'd like to I'll certainly keep him. She eats all the shallots and stuff like that, so I can keep all them. She likes a lot of the herbs, like the mint and the rosemary, so I'm not going to get rid of them. I'm tempted. What she's asked for is more cos lettuce. She said I'd eat a salad from the patch if we had more cos lettuce. So what I'm going to do is revert these. When I originally started with aquaponics, those little beds on top of the tank were full of lettuces. Now over the years the rats hammered them, and eventually I swapped out of the lettuces and went into things like this Lebanese watercress. I'm actually going to strip these beds bare. I'll take everything out of them, and I'm going to have another crack at cos lettuce in there. I'll make sure I keep the rat baits up, and I'm hoping that will keep on top of it. So the tubers I'll keep doing. What you're looking at there is a bed full of bloody yakon. There's also that's going great. There's some yams and some sweet potato and some ginger in there as well. The sweet potato I'll keep using. I'd keep doing it because you can use the leaves as well as the tuber. So it's a sort of double whammy. Those leaves will go on my pestos. I'm also having a crack at a bucket of potatoes for the first time. I haven't done potatoes before because normally I say to myself, Andy, why would you bother, mate? You got no room and they're cheap as chips in the shop. Well, that may be true, Andy, but it's something you certainly eat, so even if you only save $5 over the whole year, that's better than nothing, mate. I think things like that curry bush have got to go. I've got a curry tree, and the leaves on that are a lot more curry-ish. Good word, Andy, curry-ish. I think you invented that just then. Than the bush, so stuff like that has got to get the arse. I think that Fajoa is going to go. I've had him for years and he's produced nothing. He does flower, but I suspect I've got one of the ones that you need a second plant to cross-pollinate. Haven't got room for that. You're gone. That big mound of Madagascar bean there. We eat a lot of those beans and they're really good for storage, so certainly keep that going. I'm going to hammer Rosie to cut back this salvia. And in fact, a few of her ornamentals are just taking up far too much space. They're going to have to go. The beetle, he'll be lucky to survive. I'll keep him cut way back to a manageable size. That'll free up some of this north side for more tomatoes and maybe even some lettuces to spread the risk. You know, if it's on both sides of the yard, chances are something will survive. There's that curry leaf that I talked about, and it'll be good. It's growing like mad. Things like the pear, the tropical pear, I'm not going to get rid of them. All my ginger and turmeric and stuff, I'm going to keep growing them. This youngberry, it hasn't produced anything, but it's only been in for 12 months, so I'll give him a bit more time. Buddy, if you don't produce your cacti, the pineapples, neither here nor there, I don't reckon. that silly mother herb beside it, I never bloody use that. It's got to go. Grows quite well and it's pretty. Got no room for malingerers. I'm even tempted to get rid of that cranberry hibiscus, to be honest. Takes a fair bit of room. You know, don't really use you, buddy. The sweet leaf, which is that funny thing in the back there, you can see with the small leaves, it's actually quite good in pesto, so he'll survive. But yeah, this year is going to be really, let's consider what we're growing, stop fooling around and get a bit harsher with it, and hopefully we can move into far more meals from the patch. I just want to show you one more thing that I think is relevant to this, and I think I do it pretty well. So that thing that I think is important that I haven't focused on really enough is preserving. So I've got 3 bottles of sweet chili sauce. Chilies always go right over here and we eat a lot of it. 3, 5, 7, 9 bottles of mango chutney. I love me mango chutney. There's a 10th bottle, but it's in our fridge. 2 bottles of the salsa verde, 3 bottles of mint jelly, and 2 bottles of harvest tomato paste. Now I'll actually put a clip up to show you how to make that. And like I say, we eat a lot of those tomatoey style sauces. You saw the video on the puttanesca sauce. That harvest one is really bloody good. Hence the reason I want to start and get a lot more into the tomatoes, because they're the base for a lot of meals for us. And finally, I'm going to use indoor a bit more as well, I've decided. What you're looking at there is a couple of different mushroom kits that I got for Christmas. I'll do a video on them so you can see how they go. We eat a lot of mushrooms as well, so I think that'd be another helpful thing to swap over to. And like I say, I really like the idea of being able to make the most of indoors that don't normally get used that much. And finally, the thing I mentioned last is, yes, we will continue with chickens and quails. Reason being, we get a lot of eggs. They don't take up much room, and they also have the added advantage of producing us a hell of a lot of quality fertiliser, which is great. So they're definitely on the list of things that will not go. Alright, well hopefully that's been a fairly reasonably short clip that will show you what the plan for the coming year is. So expect to see a fair few change of plants around the patch over the coming year. And we'll see how we go again. I'll kind of try to keep a bit of a focus on producing your own, as much as possible, eating your own food from the patch as the year goes on this year, and let's see how we go, eh? Alright, well I hope you all have a great 2018, and may your patches be forever fertile. See ya.